Hi everyone! In this tutorial we are going to be making little felt flowers and I'm super excited. This was my first attempt at making felt flowers and I've been having so much fun. Yesterday I decided to sneak down to my craft table and do a little crafting, and I have purchased felt a month ago and have been wanting to try this but have been a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie, so I just kept putting it off, and last night was just the perfect night. I lit a little candle in my little craft space and I just tackled my little fear of felt flowers. And you guys, it's so much easier than I thought. In fact, I had a lot of fun. So these four are my first little attempts, so I'm going to walk you through how to do it just in case you want to do it as well. I really want to do these because I have a project coming up that I'm making these for, so I'm trying to make a lot of them because I have a project that's coming to the channel next. So make sure that you are all subscribed because you're not going to want to miss what's going to be coming next. That's going to be featuring these. So all of these little flowers are going to be made for another project. So make sure you guys are all set to go so you guys can see what that project is. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool. Okay, so now I'm just going to share what you're going to need for this project. You're actually going to need very little. So you're going to need some felt. I actually have some wool-based felt. It's like a blend, and so it's like a wool felt. And you're going to need your pink mat, and this is the fabric grip mat. So I grabbed that. You're also going to need a hot glue gun, and that is it. So in this tutorial, we're actually going to be using the rotary blade on the Cricut Maker. So I've already inserted that. I will tell you how to do it. It just goes into clamp B. Let me pull this over a little bit. So this is the rotary blade. And all you're going to do is you're going to make sure that these little gears, or this, these little gears line up with the other gears. So when you go to put it in, just make sure this plastic part is facing away from your Cricut and facing towards your body. So this plastic part will face towards you, and you'll just simply set it in and lock it in place, and it's done. So super, super easy. It's already in and loaded. Again, that goes in clamp B, and your Cricut Design Space will remind you to do so once you get to the cutting portion. All right, let's hop into Cricut Design Space and I will show you where to find these little designs for the flowers. We're going to be looking at 3 different ones today, but we're going to be making 2, and we'll get to constructing these and we're going to conquer the fear of felt flowers. They're so easy and they're so cute. Okay, so this is Design Space, and these are actually the flowers. So this is what the cut file looks like before it cuts out. So we are going to have so much fun with this. So when I first was looking at these, I kind of was confused on how this could turn into something so pretty in the end, but it's actually super easy. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create 2 of the 3 of them today, and I'll show you what the third looks like. So we're not going to make this one, but I'll walk through each one to show you what their final product looks like, because I did make this one before. So I'm going to show you exactly which cut files these are. So the 2 we're going to be making today, we're going to make a really pretty one out of like a creamsicle colored felt. I guess is kind of the, or maybe orange sickle, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. It reminds me of childhood because we used to get Orange Twist ice cream cones. Oh my gosh, they're so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to over on the layers panel, I'm going to right click and I'm going to click image info. That way you guys can write down exactly what these particular 3D flowers are. So this code is M3CBDF, and you'll see it right here on this highlighted portion right here. And then this green one right here, if I click image info, is M3D7E1. And then the third is M44A7D. So that'll just help you if you want to find these particular cut files. You can also go to the images section and you can type in 3D flowers, and some of them will pop up in here as well. So you just have to scroll through and find these. I think I also typed in felt flowers to find some as well. But see, this is another one as well. So you can just kind of play around. This is another one. Just play around with some of the designs and just see how they turn out. It's really fun because you kind of don't know until you actually make them which ones you really liked. So this one ended up being my favorite, so I'll demonstrate this one today. It's so fun. So we're going to cut these 2 out. So again, we're going to do like an orange sickle one, and then we're going to do a really pretty like seafoam color one, I guess you could say. So I'm going to hide this pink one, and again I'll show you what that ends up looking like, but I'm not going to make that one today. So now I'm going to make sure my maker is selected, and I'm going to click Make It. Oh, for sizing, my felt that I'm using, my wool felt is 9 inches by 12. So I sized each of these at 8.5 inches in width. And so they ended up being 8.5 by 7.9, and this is 8.5 by 7.8. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know, if you have a piece of 9-inch felt, that 8.5 works just about perfectly. So now I'll go ahead and click Make It, and it's going to divide up my items by mat. So I'm going to cut this little green one first, and then we'll come back and do the orange one. So I'm going to click Continue, and it's just going to locate my maker. And now that's located, what I need to do is I need to find the actual material that I'm going to be cutting. So I'm going to go to Browse All Materials, and I'm just going to type in felt and click Enter. And then the one I'm going to use is felt wool fabric. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to click the star button to add it to my favorites. So then I'm going to click Done. And now again, it's going to remind us to make sure that the rotary blade is loaded in clamp B. So now we'll just put our felt on our mat, and we will get to cutting. Okay, so our felt is on our mat, and again, this is a 9 by 12 sheet. So it's going to take up this top 3/4, the design wheel. So now what we'll do is we're just going to load it in. Again, we've already installed our rotary blade into the second clamp in clamp B, so we're all ready to go there. The flashing arrows mean we're ready to load. Okay. And now we will just click this Cricut button because it's flashing and saying it's ready to cut. And it's going to load it and get cutting, and it's really fun to watch. It's interesting. This is actually the very first time that I have put the rotary blade in my Cricut. I haven't really cut anything other than paper and vinyl with my maker so far, so it was really fun to watch it. It's a little bit noisier than the regular fine point blade, so that was surprising, but it's not obviously too noisy. Okay, so I'm going to unload this because it's already done cutting. And now what I'm going to do is I'll show you what it looks like. It's really neat once it's done. So I'm just going to start removing the back, just like this. Whoops, one little part didn't quite cut as well. Let me grab some scissors. Okay, so I'll just kind of lightly get that little piece. Okay. So there is the little piece. It is so neat. There we go. Okay, so then you have some extra fabric left over. So make sure you cut this off, especially this nice green color, because you can make some leaves out of it. And Cricut Design Space has lots of little leaf patterns, so you'll just use this same method. So it's off of the mat, and now we have just a really neat little scallopy circle of felt. And so this is how we're going to now start our little felt flowers. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of arrange this on the mat a little, just to kind of keep it organized. And now there's going to be two sides to this file. So there is going to be the side that is it just kind of starts with a scallop, just like this, and then there's going to be the side that starts with a circle base. So you are going to start with this side. So now what we're going to do is we are just going to use our hot glue and start rolling the flower into place. Okay, so now that is all heated up and ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is I am just going to start by placing a line of glue right at the beginning. Okay, and then I'm literally just going to start rolling them together. There we go. So you're just going to start rolling up and applying glue. So you're just going to apply a little bit at a time, just so it, doesn't dry You don't want it to get, you know, harden and dry before you can get there with the rolling. So just kind of, you'll get in, once you get in the groove of it, as you can see, it's starting to take shape. Once you get in the groove of it, you'll kind of know how much glue you can put down, and how fast you're going, and it'll kind of give you an idea. That way you know, kind of how much in a section you can do at one time. So I'm kind of doing about a couple inches maybe. Okay, so you're just continuing to roll, and then on the bottom it kind of almost just resembles a swirl, almost like a cinnamon roll maybe. It looks really good. And then you just continue doing so. So I'm just going to keep rolling and rolling. Okay. It's looking really nice. And you want to try to keep your bottom as straight as you can, or flat as you can, if possible. If not, it's really not a huge deal. But if you can, it'll just kind of help when you go to finish the flower at the end. It'll just help it all. So I have kind of thought that it's kind of easiest to have it just in its circular shape, just like it cut, and then just kind of continue to roll around the circle. It kind of just keeps the felt all organized, if you will. If you just kind of keep it in the natural shape that it already cut in. That way it's all laid down and you just kind of have to roll. Okay. So I would love to hear your guys' what crafts are you guys doing right now? I'm finding that during this time that we're home so much, that sneaking down to craft is just a really nice way for me to kind of just get a little sense of normalcy right now. So what are you guys up to? Are you guys doing the same thing? Kind of finding that it's kind of helping with my stress about it all. So this is actually a really good craft for that, because you make such beautiful things. Look at how this is turning out. It's turning out so pretty. So I'm just going to complete the whole thing. Of course, I guess if you wanted smaller ones, you could just stop whenever you'd like. So you could create multiple sizes of flowers, and you would just roll however much you want, and you could stop whenever you want. You could also decrease the size of the cut file too if you wanted them to be a tad smaller while using the entire length of the cut file. Okay, I'm just continuing to roll. This might be one of my best ones so far in reference to the really flat bottom. Some of mine got a little crooked, but that is what practicing is all about. Is just takes a little practice to kind of get your method and your rhythm going. So, okay. You also want to just make sure that you have extra hot glue sticks on hand, because it takes a little bit of glue, as you can see. I cannot wait for you guys to see what I'm actually going to do with these flowers. I got it all laid out and designed last night. It looks so cool. I'm so excited to show you, but I thought this would make a fun tutorial as well, because then you guys will be all set. You guys can start practicing your flowers, and you guys will all be set once the next tutorial rolls out with the final products for these. So okay, and so just finishing up right on here. Okay, and now we are left with this tiny little circle at the end. So what you can do is you can just place some glue on that circle. So we'll just place some glue there. And it's kind of like a base to your flower. I kind of like it because in some flowers that are smaller, that have like a smaller diameter on the bottom, it does actually like cover the entire one. So this one it doesn't quite cover, but for when I go to apply this to my next project that I'm doing, it kind of gives you a little bit of flat ground, I suppose, to apply it to another surface. So I kind of like that. So even though it doesn't cover the entire circle, it does kind of give you a little bit of room when you're going to go put it on something else, just a little bit of a flat base. So that is how this one turned out. This is actually, I think these are the same cut file. Yes. So those are, yeah, they are. Definitely. These three are actually the same one. That ended up being my favorite, I think. Or did I say this one was my favorite? I think they're tied for first place. So you'll just kind of remove any of the strings that you have from the hot glue. And this is the third one that I didn't cut. I like it. It almost resembles like a, I kind of think it looks kind of oceanic in a way. It almost like looks like a starfish, just the shape of it. I like it. It just wasn't my favorite, but I'm definitely using it on my project because I do like the variety. So that was that third blush cut file that I had listed in Design Space. So now we're going to move on to the sherbet colored one. I think I keep calling it a different color, like sherbet, orange sickle, but you guys get the idea. So again, I'm just going to kind of arrange, whoops, let me move these little guys out of the way. They're so cute. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of arrange like I did. Okay. So continuing to just glue and roll. It's looking really nice. Okay, and now just finishing up this little piece, so I'll just add here and then I'll add glue to the little circle base and then just roll. And then I'll just lay down that base right here. So that looks really nice. And just kind of hold it for just a sec and make sure it all gets on there. Okay, and then you can just kind of, again, pull those little strings away, they come right off, and then just kind of arrange it how you'd like. So I just kind of like set it there and kind of fluff it a little bit, but that is exactly how they turn out. I think they are so sweet. I love how it looks, and I cannot wait to show you what I'm doing with these. They're gonna look really, really fun. So this one was one of my favorites. This was another favorite. They're just so cute and fun. And I am really encouraged to go into Design Space and go and look at some of those other cut files too, just to see what they all turn out like, because you kind of don't know until you roll them up what you're gonna like and what your eye is gonna really gravitate for, or what is kind of perfect for your project. Again, I think this one almost looks like a starfish a little bit, and they're just really fun and pretty. So make sure you guys are subscribed, because then you guys will see what these are being made for. The project is so pretty. We're going to be doing lots of fabric and ribbon, and it's going to be really pretty. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. And as always, be sure that if you enjoyed this tutorial, I'd love if you'd give me a thumbs up. And let me know in the description box what you guys are up to. What are you guys crafting, and how are you guys all doing? I love hearing from everybody, especially since we're so homebound. It's so nice to be social with some friends and just hear what everybody else has going on in their craft table. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video.